get back in control with Off the Wagon, adventures in emotional eating, health, and weight loss. Each episode containing fork-sized mindset tweaks, perspective shifts, and lifestyle hacks to get you back on the wagon. Whether it's habit change, emotional eating, addictions, weight loss, willpower, or relationships, there's something here for you. So let's get on the wagon and get down the road to your goals with me, Christy R. Hall. Welcome to episode 43, where today we're talking about getting clear on our purpose, our intentions and actions, and asking ourselves the question, is the goal, our desired end result, really the point? Most of us set out on some sort of self-improvement goal due to a pain point. Of course, this is not always true, but most of the time, for the most part, just generally speaking, we do self-improvement precisely because we want to improve. We want to improve because there's some sort of discomfort around where we currently are. As an example, you may decide to lose 10 pounds because you have pain in your knees, or you get breathless going up the stairs. You may decide to give up cigarettes when you calculate the painful hit your wallet takes as you trade your hard-earned dollars for something you then set on fire. Perhaps you decide to release sugar, high fructose corn syrup, and other processed carbs because you're tired of constantly checking your insulin levels, finger prick here, and giving yourself an insulin shot, just a little stick there. Maybe you've decided to go back to school so that you can make more money and get a better job. All movement comes from desire or discomfort. For the next couple of moments, while you listen, try to sit very still. Don't move. You can blink and breathe, but don't do any more than that. Pay attention to your body. When you notice the urge or drive to move or twitch or fidget, see if you can understand why. Are you uncomfortable sitting still? Did you get an itch? Did you find that you had to pee? Or you need a drink? When everything is fine, when you're comfortable, when you're content, there's no need to move. There's no need to go anywhere or do anything. So we've talked about pain points and desires before. We've talked about how to set SMART goals and how to be specific so that you can actually accomplish those goals. We've dived deeper and talked about how to chunk our goals up or down to make them more manageable and keep us from getting overwhelmed by them, but also keep us motivated and inspired to continue. We've talked about how to build momentum, fuel the fire, and keep it burning. And it's all been great, very purpose-driven and focused, and a lot of good work has been done. But depending on where you are in your journey, you may be getting close to your goal or desired outcome. You may be getting to the point where you can get off the blood pressure medication, or you'll get your doctor's okay to have the surgery, or whatever it is. When we start off on our journeys, sometimes we are so acutely aware of our pain and discomfort that the only relief we can find is the complete and total focus on how we want and even expect to feel when we finally get to where we want to go. It's easy for us to blame our poor life situations and even our ongoing unhappiness on the thing that we're focused on. For example, we can blame our loneliness on our weight. We can blame our shyness on our body image issues. And then we can come to believe that if we could just lose the weight or get rid of that bulge or make the freckles disappear, that life would be better. If we could finally master our eating habits and deal with our emotions, life would be bearable. We might even convince ourselves that we might finally be perfect if we could just fix our list of things. However, though you may have accomplished a goal, and you must have experienced this for yourself, sometimes you may find that when you get there, it doesn't feel the way you expected. You lose the weight, but you're still lonely or unhappy. You finally get rid of that little bump or bulge, but you're still shy and lacking confidence. You get the degree, but you find that you still feel dumb. You get the better job, but you still feel like you're lagging behind everybody else. James Clear, author of Atomic Habits, calls it searching for buried treasure. You're on your path, hiking towards your treasure, imagining what it will be like when you get there, what the chest will look like, and the pile of gold and treasure, everything. But when you get there, it doesn't look like you expected, and the treasure isn't gold, but what appears to be worthless bits of junk. He says at this point, it's when we usually give up or switch goals, thinking that the bigger and better prize must lay somewhere else. The point is that sometimes getting to the goal doesn't provide us with the change we were hoping for, doesn't provide us with the feels we were looking for. It just may not satisfy us like we hoped it would. And it's perfectly natural to feel let down and disappointed when the goal or the outcome doesn't feel like we hoped or expected. And that's why today we want to ask ourselves whether the accomplishing of the goal is really the point. No matter what you pick, no matter what goal you pick, chances are that it will take some time to accomplish. Whether you're saving money to buy a house, to get a degree, or even lose weight and stop binge eating, all of those things take time. And while you may wish that you could have all of your desires tomorrow or even today, there's something to be said for working to get what you want, right? Taking the path, making the decisions, having the experience. After all, if just getting to the top of Mount Everest were as satisfying as climbing Mount Everest, people would save their time and money and just take a helicopter or do a plane flyby. You know it's not the same. Maybe you've had this experience where you've, flown into the Atlanta airport. But that doesn't mean you've had the Atlanta experience. The same can be said for all the wonderful things that you're trying to and getting to accomplish. We're more happy and fulfilled through the actual doing and accomplishing of the thing, which means that our goals are more than just things we want to have or do or achieve. There's so much more to it. You might think that you'd like to have Hermione Granger's magic wand to swish and flick your way to happiness, but it probably wouldn't make you as happy as you'd like to think. Let's say tomorrow you could snap your fingers and be wealthy beyond your wildest dreams. On the surface, you might think that would make you happy. But starting tomorrow, would you also know how to invest your money? Spend it wisely? Prevent theft? Avoid people asking you for loans? Those are all things that you learn by making your own money. Let's say this afternoon, your entrepreneurial venture goes 7 figures. Are you prepared to handle that kind of influx? Are you ready to hire people, go on tour, or whatever it is that you need to do to support your business? What if you could lose all the weight you wanted by the time you woke up tomorrow? Sounds exciting, right? But at your new weight, would you know how much you needed to eat to support that and maintain that weight? Would you know how to feed yourself? Would you have the clothes to support the new you? Here's one more way to think about it. Would you bypass dating and going out and even living together if you could simply be happily married tomorrow? If you're currently in a happy relationship, would you have taken a shortcut, right? Skipped all those movies and restaurants to be where you are now? Would you skip being pregnant and just have the kid? You'd miss out on all the connections, all the time together, all the feelings, and everything that you've learned. The point here is that so much of the information that we need to be successful is learned and picked up on the way to that success. So now I want to ask you to think about how you feel the day after you've accomplished something big. Landing that job, going to Hawaii or Ireland, or getting that diploma. Did it still feel as awesome? When you accomplish it, you get a few brief moments of a feel-good high, but it's relatively short-lived. The excitement of planning and saving up for that dream vacation is gone once you've done it. In fact, it can be kind of depressing to return to your normal life afterwards. When you finally see that magic number on the scale, but find that there were no trumpets ringing out your success. In fact, no one noticed. And really, you don't feel any different than you did yesterday when you hadn't hit that number. Life is still the same, and you're still the same. Why do you think it is that the good feelings dissipate so quickly, if we even get them at all? So today I want to put this question to you, and I'll tell you up front that you may not like it, because when I started entertaining these thoughts, I had a lot of resistance to it. But what if it's the struggle that's important? What if it's the striving for something that actually matters to you? Perhaps it's not the winning or the obtaining, but the process, the journey, putting in the time, sweat, and tears that makes it all worthwhile. Perhaps it's the thrill of overcoming a challenge that keeps you working and trying and moving forward. Could it be that it's the personal growth you experience while on your path that makes achieving goals satisfying? I mean, is having a degree or a diploma, which is basically a piece of paper, really that exciting? Or is it learning about new topics, learning new skills, developing and becoming a new and improved version of yourself? To achieve a big goal or desire, you must grow and develop yourself. And is this what really appeals to you? Struggling and overcoming obstacles and challenges leads to learning. When you are faced with challenges, you're forced to learn. You either study the work of others in an attempt to avoid mistakes and pitfalls, or you just push forward and make your own mistakes and corrections. Both are forms of learning, and both lead to success. So, circling back to James Clear, he suggests that we use our goals as a compass or a guide. He says that the problem with the treasure hunt is that most people spend all of their time thinking about the treasure. That is, we get attached to the outcome or the image of the outcome we create in our minds. Then when the actual goal or destination doesn't match up with what we pictured, we're disappointed. Instead, he says we should be dedicated to the goal, but then mostly forget about the goal itself and worry about putting one foot in front of the other. Basically, working on those everyday coping mechanisms, habit-building tasks, and self-care routines that we've been talking about that actually get you where you want to go. Trust that those little things that you're doing every day are taking you one step closer. So I want to close out this week with a quote from Jim Carrey from his ever-popular commencement speech. He says, "As far as I can tell, success is about letting the universe know what you want and working towards it, while letting go of how it might come to pass. Your job is not to figure out how it's going to happen for you, but to open the door in your head, and then when the doors open in real life, just walk through it. Don't worry if you miss your cue. There'll always be another door opening." So your invitation or mission this week is to let go of the goal itself. Set the goal. Set your intentions. Plan it out. Determine what you need to do to get there, but then let go of the rigid expectations, the definitions, and the deadlines that ultimately make you unhappy with the progress you've made and are making each and every day. Because the goal isn't really half as important as the progress is. Thanks so much for tuning in this week and listening. I really appreciate you. If you have any questions or want to talk to me about how to let go of the goal and still make progress each and every day, I would love to talk to you. You can find me on Facebook at fb.me/Coach Christy R. Hall or at my website, www.christyrhall.com. Thanks so much, and I'll talk to you soon.